Now the PenTAD offers us all sorts of ways to analyze any sort of rhetoric we see. Let's review it real quick. We have the act, what somebody has done. The scene is the something. The agent is who did it. Agency is how they did it. And the purpose is why they did it. Now, as an example, I think I'd like to use Donald Trump, because I find him fascinating, interesting, and very humorous. So first of all, what is Donald Trump doing? Well, he's running for president. What is the scene or the place? Well, we can think about it as America, but right now it's the Republican Party. That's the scene. He's not running for president yet. He's running for the Republican nomination, which may change how we think about what he's doing, but also what he's actually doing. Okay, obviously he's the agent. He's the one doing things. But what's really interesting with Trump are the following two: agency and purpose. What is his agency? How is he doing it? Basically, he's showing off as much as he can, insulting people as often as he can. He's bringing himself to the forefront of the news, where the only thing anybody is talking about is Trump. And even when they talk about one of the other politicians, they're often talking about that other politician in relationship to Trump, right? So he's taking over. And what is his purpose? Well, his purpose is to keep himself at the forefront of the news at all times, to be the one people are talking about all the time, which, you know, and he's apparently very successful of it, because he's got 20% of people who identify as Republican say they would support Trump. Now, we can play with all of these and move them around and think about them. And one of the things Burke tells us is it's not just any one of these five that's important, but it's a relationship between any two of them that allows us then to say things about it. So for instance, if I take scene as my first term, and then I take agency, right, which is how Trump is doing things, as my second term, you'll notice that one of the things I can do is I can talk about, first of all, the scene of the Republican Party, right? What he's doing is he is taking all of the really conservative Tea Party ideas and pushing them to the limit. And he's sounding very conservative. He said, for instance, today, he said he would stop the government in order to stop abortion, right? He said that was a good idea. A lot of Republicans are scared of that, because it hurt them really bad when they tried to stop the government, when they tried to defund Obamacare. But so what is his purpose there? What is his purpose? Well, to appeal to those very conservative people. Now, when you change the scene from the Republican primary to the actual election, one of the problems that Trump may run into is a lot of people who are moderates may see him as a little over the top, and he may lose votes because of that. So what will his purpose then be? He may start moderating what he has to say and backing off some of these wild statements. That's been the standard the last couple of years for Republican candidates, is to talk very conservative during the primary and then to back off of those conservative ideas later on. Question is Trump going to be able to do that? Right? Now you can take any two of these and put it together in that way. For instance, the act and agency. Well, we've already talked about the agency. He's trying to be as flamboyant and as controversial as possible. That's how he's doing it. But what act is that creating? Is he actually running for president? Huffington Post thinks he isn't. Huffington Post thinks he's just feeding his ego. They think the act that he's doing, what he's doing here, is revealed by his agency, by how he's doing it. That he's not legitimately running for president, but he's doing a very wild and large version of his TV show. You may agree with him or disagree with him. The point is, notice how you can use each one of these terms by taking any two of them and applying them to somebody in some situation and adjusting how you think about it, right? You can make the scene large or you can make it small, right? You can make the act one thing or you can make it another, depending on, for instance, whether you look at agency or purpose. So it allows you to analyze something like, obviously, from my perspective, Trump's campaign, but you can also use this to analyze other things.